Hey guys and gals. Hey guys and gals. What is good? What is good? Appreciate you hitting that play button. Turn it up. Let's go. You guys excited? Are you guys excited? I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. Appreciate you hitting again that play button. That's awesome of you to drop by, check out the content, learn some mathematics. Oh yeah. Math is fun. Let's get right into this, guys and gals. Lots to do, so we're going to get right into it. Flick that old switch in your brain. Get yourself prepared to learn some math. You know you're going to love it. It's going to be great. This is for you homeschooling parents, those parents that are homeschooling their child or children. Here to help, here to support you. With that, assuming that you have enough on your plate already, yeah, here to support. That's kind of why, I love math and stuff, and I'm learning, to slowly get better at teaching. Again, mathematics is one of those things I could do. So working on being a better teacher / instructor. Again, I'm just to let you know, I am staying focused on topic. That's what's happening over here. This is for you, parents. Again, staying on topic, only teaching mathematics over here. Also, any students are welcome too. If maybe you got a cruddy-duddy teacher, instructor that really isn't teaching mathematics when they're supposed to be. Again, I feel I'm already more qualified than they are because I actually teach the subject. Let's go! Who would have thunk it? Awesome. I do love math. Lucky for me, when I was in college, I had instructors that taught what they were supposed to do. So, I was blessed that way, and therefore equals, I was able to do confidently well when learning. So, students, you're welcome here as well. If you have any questions or a certain area, topic of mathematics that you would like me to do, by all means, drop it down in comments below. Let me know. I'm not a mind reader, so again, you're all welcome here. Glad to have you. Truly mean that. And let's learn some math. Okay, to kind of give you an update, we're still on the Unit 1 section, guys, gals, okay? Working on pricing, currency, exchange, and that. I know it's titled that, but for the most part, we're really doing a lot of percentages, learning how to compare, let's say you're shopping and stuff, learning how to compare what's a better price and those sort of things, ratio proportion stuff going on, fractions, percentages, how to reduce fractions, how to easily multiply fractions, how to find the magic numbers that you need for factoring fractions, and all those sort of things, reducing decimals, and that's what we're doing. So let's go. A lot of this might, guys, I'm just thinking, a lot of this might be easier, already known for you. You're welcome to still watch if you find it, you already understand this stuff. Maybe, you never know, maybe you'll learn something. I try to give extra little tips, extra little advice. I kind of show all the steps, do the long math, do the long multiplication, long division, all those sort of things. It just depends on what I'm doing, but I try to show all those steps and explain as well. So learning is growing, and positive mindset, be open to learning, right? With that said, if you want to continue forward to the next video, that's great as well. So it is great to have y'all. Turn it up. All right, let's learn. Let's get back into this. So what were we doing last? We were working on... What were we working on? see where I know we're doing percentages and we're doing a lot of different stuff. I just want to recall which one was I working on, the 36% one? I think so. Let's do this next one, okay? We have one where it's a decimal. Okay, 72. We'll probably go through this one quickly. Now, something like this, you know, it's a little bit more work, a little more math, kind of trying to figure it out. Normally, you would just go like this. Again, whoops. When you're working with percentages, it's out of 100, right? Percent. So I'm going to just go like this. And we're going to turn that into a fraction. Essentially, that's kind of what we have. So to get it to a decimal form, well, we're going to have to do the long math, right? So we would have to do the 100 into 72.3, right? 100 has 3 digits. One's tens, hundreds, so you obviously want to be, you know, less than a value, right? The 100's greater than 7, that's no good. 100's greater than 72, that's no good either. But 100 is not greater than 723. I'm just ignoring the decimal and looking at it like a whole number, okay? So, whoops. So, yeah, it is 700. So I'm going to go We need to get close to 723 without going over. So I'm just going to quickly do the math. Of course, that's going to work out to 700. I kind of, instead of, you know, working with numbers like this with zeros, guys, here's my tip. I show this to my kid, you know, like if you're doing something like this, you know, that's fine to work it out like that. But if you have something like whether you're multiplying by 10 or 100 or by 1,000, really for this stuff, you just need to kind of ignore the zeros. That's what I do. Okay, so ignoring the zeros, we're going to be doing 100 times 7, right? So what I teach my kid is just multiply these two together, which gives us 7, and then just bring the zeros over. Done. That easy. Okay? And then we subtract, we get 23 here. The decimal's there right now. 7. I have to put my 7 up here, right? This 7, which is going to go into this position right there. Currently, this is where our decimal is right now. Okay? That's just a temporary decimal place. I could actually I could move it right now if I want. Now, how I figured that out is right here. This one singular jump. There's no other decimal values except for this singular jump. So our decimal actually is there. But we'll worry about it later. Now 100 is greater than 23. So we need to, I don't know if it's called borrowing. We're going to give it a 0, right? Because we want 100 to be less than this value here, right? So that's why we need 3 digits. So 2 is going to be our number, right? 2. Because it's the same thing, right? Just like we're doing here. So we have 200. And then I'm going to subtract. And we're left with 30. Same thing again, guys and gals. We're going to add another 0 placement so that we have triple digits. Okay? And 100 times 3 gives us 300. And we want a remainder of 0, which is a nice number. So I'm going to put our 3 there. So we're not done here, right? This decimal here is in the wrong spot, right? So again, to figure out where the decimal belongs, this is how you do it. A singular jump right here. You do it based on this here, this number here, right? That's where our decimal is. So I'm going to go whoop and put it there, and then I'm going to give it a leading 0. So our answer is 0.723. Okay, that's doing the long work, guys. Again, I like to show the long work. How do we get that number? How does it work? In here, hopefully we're good. I don't know, OBS is acting weird. 3. Okay, that's doing the long work, guys. Okay, everything seems fine there. I don't know. OBS is doing weird stuff, maybe because it's pretty hot. Who knows? I don't know how to explain. Internet maybe needs refresh. I hope it's not cutting in and out the live stream. I don't know, because I have a few watchers, which are really important people to me, because I appreciate them watching. That's why I continue. So many times I just want to quit and say, why am I even doing this? But now it's like my chat's doing weird stuff. I've never seen this before with OBS. I don't know what's up. So now I'm a little bit worried that hopefully the stream isn't cutting in and out. I don't think it is. It just says chat is disconnecting. Anyways, let's carry on. I don't have a mod. I'm my own mod here, guys, so I have to figure things out myself. And that's kind of who I am. I use my own brain molecules and figure things out. I don't need to call my cousin and ask him, right? Because I figure things out. Big brain. Okay. 100%, right? When we're talking about percentages, okay? So here, again, like I said, once you understand the long work, doing the division, then you can kind of shortcut it. It's not really shortcutting, but once you understand the long way of doing things, you can kind of speed things up by taking some shortcuts, if you will. So what I am trying to also teach is, anytime you're dividing by 100, you're moving the decimal from right to left. Okay? 1, 2. Okay? So, right to left. Okay? And anytime you're multiplying, you're moving the decimal left to right.
Get a credit card annual fee
Oh,
waiver
goodness
and earn C+
gracious.
points faster.
Of course, I always click the wrong tab. Eat my shorts. Commercials. Eat my shorts. Oh, so annoying. Okay. We're back up. YouTube's not going to share my hard work. I'm not sharing the commercials. So, too bad for you. It's not how it works. Okay? Alright. There we go. Anytime you're multiplying, you're going from right to left. I mean left to right. Now I'm seeing that kind of stuff throws me off track here a little bit. It frustrates me. But I'm fine, guys. Okay? So from left to right. So because 100 has 2 zeros, that's how you figure out how many jumps. It's based on the number of zeros. If you have If you're multiplying by 1,000 or dividing by 1,000, then it's 3 jumps, guys. Okay, it just depends on how many zeros you have. It's no different. Same thing with 10,000%. In this case, you're going to be doing 4 jumps. Okay, following? That's how numbers work. Again, patterns, sequences, all those sort of things. Okay, so here's the quick shortcut way of figuring it out. Okay, so we are essentially taking the 72.3 and dividing it by 100. Okay, to get the decimal. All right, so with this here, we're going, oh, we're dividing, so that means we're taking the decimal from the right and going left. So 72.3, taking the decimal 1, 2 jumps. I'm going to rewrite it with a leading 0.723. That easy. That's pretty simple, huh? Once you understand the steps, right? Okay, let's continue. I almost wish I probably should erase all that. Okay, I'll just... so that I don't have to keep doing that all the time, I'm just going to go like this. All right. There we go. Okay, good. Okay, let's continue. So with that said, we could do this a lot quicker now, right, guys? 15%. Turn that into a decimal, right? Same thing. We could do the long work, right? Essentially, it's going to be, it works out, it's the divisor that's on the outside, right? I'm just adding a couple extra zeros in case I need them. And as a matter of fact, the decimal is right there. So 3 digits. We're just going to go 1, put 100. Subtract. 50, bring the 0 down, 0, and 5, and 500, and subtract, and R is 0. Now the decimal is there right now. It's essentially going to be 2 jumps. Right? I'm just lining up these zeros right here. 1, 2 jumps. 1, 2 jumps. There we go. 0. Okay, that's what we're doing to turn it to a decimal. So dividing, going from right to left. Right to left. 1, 2. Decimal. Put a leading 0, and then we'll just write it out, and done. That easy. Let's go. Okay, undo, let's continue. That's the long work right there, guys and gals, okay? let's see. Let's just do something else. Change up some numbers here. 4% as a fraction. Okay? What's 4% as a fraction? How do you do that, right? Again, same sort of thing, guys and gals, right? Let's make a fraction. When we're working with percentages, what does this mean? It means out of 100, right? There we go. There's our fraction. Okay, so at this point, I mean, we're not going to a decimal, okay? We're not going to a decimal. Okay, we're not. So we're not going to be doing this. Okay, this is going to a decimal. Right? We are going, so just so you guys understand, right? That's how you do it to go to a decimal. But we just want to, they're saying express 4% as a fraction. Okay? Magic number is 100. Right? Let's make a fraction, which we've done. This here means the exact same thing, except technically speaking, it's times 100, right? You can see the hundreds cancel. We get 4, right? It's all the same, right? That's how you get it to percent. So, but looking at this fraction, it's not reduced. Okay, let's take the most meat off the bone. I think the smartest thing to do is think about this and go, does 4 go into 100? Right? And if you're not sure, just think of it as like money. Okay? How many quarters makes $1? Right? Because a quarter is 25 cents, right? If we add that all up, these have leading zeros, right? That equals 1.00. Technically speaking, a whole number 1 is the same thing. If we ignore the decimal, we actually have 100 there. Do we not? We do. Right? So therefore, 4 times 25 gives us 100. So now we know how to figure out our bottom. So we know that 4 times 25 gives us 100. Oh, cool. So we're gonna factor 4. This is the factoring and reducing part, guys. What times 4 gives us 4? Well, that's 1. Okay? This is our common number. Our common number between both of them. That's what we want, because we want to be able to cancel. What does 4 divided by 4 equal? That's 1. Right? Anything multiplied or divided by 1 gives you the same answer. Okay, so now we know this, right? Ignoring this, again, like I say, guys and gals, math is numbers and repetition and patterns and sequences. If you ignore decimals, it really is just the same thing. Decimals are just a position, right? So I'm just going to imagine this as a whole number 25. So that means 25 times 4 equals 100. We're left with 1 over 25. Does that seem right? I think so. Now, if you're not sure, I'm just going to use, remember how I know I kind of got into it a couple of videos ago, talking about, let's just see if I can find it again. Just give me a sec. I think it's in here. I should try to remember which folder that's in. Here it is. Good. Yes, there we go. Okay. Remember on the calculator, this is just a basic sharp one. Every calculator is going to kind of be the same but different. We're looking for a button that is right here. This one here. If you look at it, says there 1 over x. You have to access it with your second function. Okay, that's how you access anything that's above the button. You use your second function button for. So you'll press that. You'll actually type your number. So I'm going to type 25, beep, beep, and then I'll see 25 on the screen. And then I want to go second function and then invert. I'll press 7. So what it will do is it'll go 1 divided by 25 for you. That's a quick way of, like, you don't need to go 1 divided by 25. That's like so generic, basic, elementary. You don't need to do that. Okay, that's basic, generic calculator usage 101. Okay, we're the 120 and higher IQ club here, guys. Use the stuff that your calculator has. It makes it quick and easy for you. So all you have to do is hit 25, second function, boop, done. Okay, my calculator actually has a button that's called x to the negative 1. Okay, these equal each other. They're exactly the same thing. Okay, just so you know, this is what the negative 1 means. So we've taken, this is actually positive 1 right now. When we bring it up, it becomes a negative 1. Okay, essentially we have 1x negative 1 once we bring this up to the top. Okay, calculator 101. Fractions 101. So we're going from right to left. You see how the decimal's here? It was here. We're going bop, bop. We divided by 100. Okay? Boom. Turn that up. Let's go. I should do calculator videos. All right, awesome. So there you go. That's it in a nutshell, guys. Okay. So other ones, like if you have decimals, you could do the long work if you're not sure, right? Express this as a decimal. It's the same thing as this, right? We're just gonna go bop, bop, boop. That actually turns out to be 7/8. I have this memorized. I don't even need a calculator for that. I know it's 7/8. And I could actually go 7 divided by 8, and I get 0.875. Isn't that wild? I have them all memorized just from working with fractions enough. 16th, 0.0625. A 32nd, I could even do 0.03125. Let's go an eighth. 0.125. Quarter is here. What's in between? 3/16. 3/16 is 0.1875. Quarters 0.25. We'll just go 1/2 here. 1/2 is 0.50. What's in between a quarter and a half? Well, that's 3/8, which is 0.375. And then we have one that's also in between here in 16ths, probably 5/16, right? Yeah, that's higher than a quarter, so 5/16, right? Looking at fractions, if you look at a quarter, what's a quarter? A quarter is 4/16. You really have to understand fractions. That's what a quarter is. 4/16 reduced. What's the next one? 5/16. Let's double this. Turn 8 into 16. That's 6/16. It's that easy. So 1/2. Just okay, so we got 3/4, and then we got 7/8, 0.875, and then we have 3/4 is 0.75, and then in between 16ths, right? 9/16, and then 10/16, which is 5/8, which is 0.625. I could go on and on. I didn't even touch a calculator once. Do you think I'm that fast at typing? On a calculator and in writing? Okay. Let's do kind of a word problem. I'm going to clean this up. Okay? Actually, I want to keep the 100%. I'm just going to erase this. You guys, hopefully, just remember, when you're dividing, it's right to left. Multiplying is left to right. The little things. Again, if you're doing an exam or whatever, you could just quickly write it down. Do a little sketch on some scrap paper, and boom shakalaka, you'll have it. Alright, so here's just kind of a little word problem. They're saying 28 students, okay? 28 annoying, loud, immature people that should just sit, be quiet, learn, and listen. Sorry, guys. They kind of should. I say that because my kid, he needs to focus. He needs to focus, to pay attention to what he's doing, right? Right? Who doesn't need to do that? You don't need loud yelling kids in the background. How do you learn? You don't learn from that. Anyways, I need to just stop there. Because, yeah, just not cool. But anyways, so 28 students in a class of 40 students. So there's a total of 40. Okay? That own a cell phone. And most likely they're staring at it. Because, we call them cell phone zombies. What percentage of students own a cell phone? Okay, so if we do it in ratio, right? Like a ratio. We could do it in ratio, or we could do it in a fraction. They're really the same thing. A ratio is this. 28 to 40. And obviously a fraction is 28 40. They're both even numbers, so it looks like we could reduce, right? We could. Just want to check something real quick here before I go. That's the most meat off the bone. That's actually incorrect. We're pulling 4 out of that. Because 7 doesn't go into 40, right? I want to reduce. We're just reducing the fraction right now just to see what's up. There we go. That's how easy that is. We already got our numbers. It's that quick. So we're left with 7 out of 10. Okay? Let's make 10 100. Well, what do you do to do that? You multiply by 10. Multiply by 10. Right? So therefore equals, we get 70 over 100. There it is right there, guys. Okay? So that's our percentage essentially right there. Okay? I could turn it to a decimal, but we don't need to, right? I could divide it, right? I could divide it. We get bop bop 0.7, right? And then I can multiply it by 100 to get the percentage. We're just kind of going back and forth. That's all we're doing. Bop bop 70%. Okay, there we go. That's our answer. So that's how you do it, guys. Like, to figure it out, you look at this fraction, you're like, okay, well, how am I going to do that, right? Well, you have to do factoring and reducing. That's what you need to do. That's how you do it. Okay? And then we need the denominator to be 100, right? Because the percentage is out of 100. Okay? Right? It's out of 100. So once I got to this point, right, 7/10, I just wanted to make the denominator 100. Well, it's just multiply by 10, right? To get that extra 0. And then therefore we got 70. It turned it from 7/10 to 70 out of 100. Just like that. Boom. I'm going to leave it at that. There's no sense to, there's no more explaining, right? Hopefully you got it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. Suppose there was a separate class of 30 students. How many would you expect would own a cell phone? So that's easy. So the other class was 28 out of 40, right? We could do ratio proportion. It would probably work. So a separate class of 30 students. It sounds like they're saying that the total is 30. Okay, so X is unknown. We could use ratio proportion to do this, or because we got 0. We could do it another way. We could do it like this. This is one way of doing it. I'll show the work. It should still work. Or you go, since we've already done this one, it was 70%, was it? We just got to multiply this by no, that won't work. I actually have to convert the 30. Let me just see. No, we better stick. Let's just do this other way first. Okay? Let's cross multiply 40x. Let's see what happens before I start trying to do something else. Okay, cross multiply, CM. Left hand side equals left hand side equals right hand side. Right? Step 2. 40x, 28 times 30. Okay? Isolate x. Hopefully you've been following the series. If you don't understand the step that I've done, I'm sorry that you're not seeing it. It'd be great if you watch the other videos. I've already shown this step a bunch of times. My time is my time. It'd be awesome if you put in the time. Okay, that'd be great. Appreciate you. 28 times 30. All over 40. At this point, I'm going to go like that and like that. And then I'm going to get 28. Times 3. So basically it's 3/4. 75% times 28. How do you guys understand what I'm thinking? 3/4 is 75, right? Which is 75%. So 75% of 28 is what, right? You'd have to kind of figure it out. But we can figure it out. Can I reduce anymore? Probably. 4 goes into 28, right? 4 does go into 28. So I can factor 4 and make our denominator 1. So 4 times 7, is that right? Times 3. Don't forget our 3. Our 3 is just hanging out for now. Okay? So far all I did was break this into 2 numbers. That's all we're doing. We're taking a whole number and breaking it into 2 numbers. That's factoring, guys. It's like so simple. Okay, really in a nutshell, that's what it is. Okay, so equals, so this cancels, we're left with a denominator of 1, which is awesome. There we go, that's 3/4. So 75% of 28 is 21. You can check it out if you want. So if we were to compare one class to another, right, essentially it is 3/4. Kind of works out that way too. I don't know. Anyways, that's it. Yeah, 21. That's what I got. Boom. Drop the A's, because why not? It's fun. God. Like either YouTube sucks or I have a hacker or OBS Studio needs an update. I'll have to figure that out. My chat's like connecting, disconnecting, connecting, disconnecting. Isn't that awesome? It's so great living off Bologna&Weiners. I should start doing lying. I don't want to get on a tangent. Lying, deceitful videos to get views. Is that what I have to do? I don't know, man. You guys that are watching, I'm not kind of reflecting this on you. You're automatically like awesome people in my books because you're watching. Okay, where are we at for time here? We're actually doing not too bad, but we're getting close. Okay, I think that's good enough for that. Somebody's buying boots at a fair. She buys the boots from a manufacturer for $175 per pair. So she gets the pair of boots for $175. Okay? Alright? I don't know. I'm gonna draw a pair of boots. There we go. Isn't that awesome? You guys love my boots? They're great. They are great. Oh man. Yes. I should get views now because my drawings are awesome. To make a profit, she marks them up 60%. Oh my god! Highway robbery! So it's a 60% increase. Okay, now if I recall, 60% markup, we gotta go 60. I think this should work. We'll see. We need a percentage of 175. So the whole number is going to be here. This is going to be, we need to figure out, I'm just going to use M. We'll see if this works. I'm going to try stuff out here. Okay, I need 60% of 175. That's essentially what I need. Okay, so I'm going to go 100M equals 60 times 175. Isolate M equals 60. I've explained this step lots, guys. Okay, if you're not following what I'm doing, if you're not picking up what I'm putting down, I recommend you watch the series. Okay, so we're left with 6 times 175 all over 10. I know 10 would go into that. I would move the decimal, which I don't really want. So I could reduce this a little bit more by 2. I could factor 2 out of that. So we're going to get 2 times 3 times 175 all over 2 times 5. 2's cancel. We're left with 3 times 175 all over 5. Oh, look at that. I can reduce even more because I know 5 should go into 175. I'm running out of the room here to show the long work. That's the thing. So I'm just going to do it quickly here. That's 35. And 5 into, whoops, into 175. Okay, is what I figured out. 3, 15, 2, 5, 25, 0, 5. There's our number. Doing the long work real quick. 35 is our answer. So I'm factoring 5. I'm just going to go right here. I went from down here to up here. I'm going from here to here. Okay, guys? Just so you're following, okay? I know I should have wrote this out a little bit better. I apologize. So I'm going to have 3. 3's hanging out by itself. Multiplied by, we're factoring 5. Multiplied by 35. Okay, that's what we just figured out. 35 times 5 gives us this. Okay? 5 again. This cancels. What times 5 is 5? Well, that's 1, right? So now we're left with 3 times 35. 3 times 35. Now I'm showing you guys every step here. Literally 35 times 3, 15, carry the 1, 9, 10, 105. So M equals 105. Okay? That's just M. Okay? Alright. Okay? That's the markup. So M equals 105. Is that correct on the markup? It says that she marked it up 60%. Now, I'm not some kind of when I was young, I worked in a lumber yard. I didn't do restaurants, nor did I do retail. So this isn't really my thing here. So they marked it up 60%, which is quite a bit of a markup. So I'm going to assume that that's the 60% right there, guys, just so you know. 60% of 175 is 105. You could do it on your calculator. 105 divided by 175 gives us 0.6. Okay? Awesome sauce. So I think it's a 60% markup, so I'm like, my logic is thinking that it's 175 plus the 105. So obviously this is what she bought it for, right? She wants to make a profit, so it's what you paid for it plus the markup. Make sense? So 5 and 5, 0. 5 and 5, 0. Carry the 1, that's 8. And 2. Is that right? 175 plus 105, 280. Man, that's insane. That's a pretty good profit if that's what she's selling them for. What selling price does Grace charge for these boots? Do I have any answers? I don't have any answers. Okay. So I believe that's how it works, guys. Okay? That's what I'm getting. So again, I'm not a crook or a salesman, so that's why I don't have very many views, or I'm not rich, because I'm not a crook. Some sauce. I know I'm hilarious. Okay, guys, gals, appreciate you watching. That is it. There's more to this. I'm trying to kind of push through this section and get it done. I'm trying. So I'm doing a lot of different examples and that, a lot of different scenarios and whatnot, right? Crunching numbers is fun. I appreciate you. That is it. Johnny Whiskey Tango Sharp. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys and gals in the next video. Take care for now, and peace out. Peace.